emotionally exhausted, spiritually exhausted, and I didn't know if they were ever going to be able to crack, find the right medications for it. And so there was a point then when I was kind of like, I had a big breakdown, but it was almost like the next day was when recovery kind of started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chillionaires. I'm your host, Dutch, joined by my best mate, Azzy.
I'm Azzy.
We're back. We've got
Welcome.
a pretty exciting show today.
Yeah,
man.
good show.
Yeah,
good show.
It's actually
We got a guest.
we got a guest. Someone actually agreed to come on, which is
Expensive, but you got to do
yeah,
what we got to do.
yeah. They'll be clouded up by the end of this whole.
Yeah, hopefully we'll
By the
get
end
a
of the
few
sea.
more followers.
Yeah, that's all we want.
Some
We're only in this
exposure,
for the
especially
followers.
in this area. He needs a bit more.
Wait, who do?
Our guest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No one really knows about him, but we'll gas him up
Yeah.
today. How you been?
Good, man. Good. A bit of
Cool.
sun in the eastern suburbs. We had 16 days of rain.
Was it 16?
16 days of rain.
That's hectic.
So, a bit of sun. Started raining before, but now it's good. I moved in, settled in.
Yeah.
So
Have you did you do any anal this week or?
Nah, no anal
No.
this week yet
Damn.
again.
It'll come. It's gonna come.
Anal this week, yeah.
It will come.
What
the
about
anus
you?
is waiting.
Any
Nah, bro. No anus this week. But it's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah. It's just timing for that sort of thing, I reckon.
Well, I think it's just, as soon as the rain comes, there's those few day periods where it's like mushrooms, fungus. You gotta wait a couple of days and then sprout.
Like fungus, anus. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're enjoying the East?
It's good, man. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Just different vibe, different sort of feng shui.
Different atmosphere.
Different atmosphere, nice sea breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? How was your week?
It was alright, bro. I just kind of just worked and just life was being lived. Nothing to report on. Yeah,
Riveting.
yeah, that's why we're doing this podcast, because we got a lot to report on through our weeks.
That's it.
So should we bring on our guest? Let's
Yeah,
do
I
it.
think
Ladies and gentlemen, we have someone who I'm very close with, a bit too close with sometimes for my liking, but I love him. He's a great guy. He spent 6 months in a hospital quarantining way before this lockdown shit. He was the OG lockdowner. Unfortunately, he had tuberculosis in that lockdown, but he beat that bitch. He said, fuck you. Went out.
How bougie, a non-COVID lockdown.
Yeah. COVID was like, we won't even touch this guy.
Yeah.
Came out, made a massive YouTube channel. He's going to talk all about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our first guest ever, Christian Van Vurren.
Yes. There we go. Come on down.
Come on. How are you, bro?
Good, how you
Welcome.
Good,
welcome.
man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
There we
we're
go.
stoked that there you are.
Yeah. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, man. We love you, bro.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Well,
Love
just
you
we've
too.
just kind of we don't know each other as well,
Not
but I'm
as
sure I
well,
will
but
love you.
It will blossom.
Yeah,
It will
yeah.
blossom
I
through.
feel like there's potential for
It's
love.
there. You feel the spark.
Yeah,
Mm.
the feng shui,
The
as
feng-
you put it.
This could be the
Could be the
The
This
anus.
could be the
The
anus
anus.
that you wanted.
could be an anus lead.
Yeah.
Do you want me to leave, boys? I'll just chill
Nah,
for a bit.
just
I'm a
chill
mushroom.
for a bit. He's
Just a-
he's
just a mushroom.
fungus.
Yeah,
Just mushing.
yeah.
You look
Mushing it.
good. I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Steve
I didn't.
Irwin's
I just threw a
inspired.
few things on, and then I put a round hat on, and I was walking out the door and realized I looked like Indiana Jones, and so I changed hats
You
just
act
before
like
I
him
left.
sometimes too, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just because my hats always fall off every time I go through a doorway. I got to reach back, get it,
Just dominating. Just getting them hats, bro.
getting hats.
Or Jumanji-ish. I would say a
It's
bit
pretty
of
Jumanji,
It's
eh?
pretty
It's a Jumanji vibe.
It's like a Bondi Hipster Jumanji.
I hate those guys, those
Yeah.
Bondi hipsters.
Yeah, I know.
Me too.
Yeah,
So it's a real problem.
yeah. It's good that they're not in this room right now.
Bondi changed
Yeah.
so much, didn't it? It used to just be real blue collar, real soul of the earth types, and then
Yeah, then those guys just came.
those
fucked
guys
it.
came along,
Pumpkin
ruined.
spice.
Bench way,
and-
yeah. The wrong mushrooms they had.
Yeah, they didn't wait the few days.
No.
They had the...
No. But
Whenever anyone does that kind of like when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade thing, I always think of like a better analogy is when life gives you shit, you
Fully.
make mushrooms.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
like-
That's way better.
That's where magic mushies grow,
That's-
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
out of
cow
cow
shit.
shit.
Yeah, that's way better.
It's better, isn't it? Because also lemonade is not better than lemons. Like lemonade's really sugary and
And
really sweet.
You can't make lemonade out of just lemons.
And to be honest,
No,
if
you need
life,
sugar.
That's
if
lemon,
life
like,
did give me a lemon, I'd be pretty
it's lemon
stoked.
juice. You make lemon juice,
Yeah.
and that's bitter.
But that's
Also,
great.
yeah.
Like you don't want to put lemonade on a piece of fish. It also depends what you've got. You know, like you want to
Fully.
squeeze a bit of lemon on some oysters
Which
or
is
fish.
most things you can put lemon on. So I'll be like, sick
Yeah.
cunt life. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I won't
Thanks
be
for the
making
lemon.
lemonade. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be making lemon garnishes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
life does give you way more shit than lemons. Let's be honest.
Heaps more shit.
Yeah.
You'd have a pretty easy life if your biggest problem was lemons.
Yeah, it
wouldn't
should be
ya?
like apples. If life gives you apples, make applesauce.
I've never made applesauce.
But because you've never had apples, life's
Yeah.
never given you apples.
Have you guys bitten into an apple lately?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I probably
Nah.
have 2 apples a day, I reckon.
I'm anti-biting in.
I
I'm a
don't
cutter.
like it anymore.
No, I'm a cutter.
Yeah, I'm a cutter.
Yeah,
I
do you
can't
want to
bite
talk
in.
about it? The cutting?
Yeah, the cutting's
Yeah,
just.
it's the thing. It's
a
sensitive,
thing.
isn't it?
No,
What,
no.
your thigh or your inside of your arm? Where do you do it? Where's your spot?
That's the next topic.
10
Christian
dark
Van
points?
Vurren.
Do I earn 10 dark
Christian
points?
Van
already?
Vurren gets cancelled on CHILLIONAIRES.
Just got earn some dark
Nah, that's
points
good,
straight
that's
off the
good.
bat.
That was
Thank
nice.
you.
I like
Thank you.
I got
Yeah.
you.
So you two. So Dutch said he's known you for a while. So how did this?
Well, this is look.
I'm
This
married
is
to my
the
family.
real reason we got you on the show. Is to talk about how you got out of quarantine and slept with my fucking sister.
Oh, it's one of these things, is it? It's
Yeah.
a confrontation.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is.
All right, cool. You need
that
to
make
grow
you
the fuck up, dude. You need to whatever issues you have around your masculinity,
Slept
you
with
need
my
to
fucking
like
sister, bro.
deal with them. Yeah, she's got her own agency. She makes her own choices. She's a
Yeah,
grown
but
ass
there was a
adult.
there was a big line before Christian just comes and gets
Yeah.
gets into it. There was a line.
Well,
There was a
what do you
line of
mean?
brother-in-laws.
A line of coke for sure.
No, there was a line of
Involved that
brother-in-laws. You know, I was trying to influence Dutch to be the brother-in-law, you know, some way, but maybe it can be through Christians.
There was a line of people who wanted to be my brother-in-law. That's the line.
Wait, in Cronulla.
And you scored.
Yeah.
You
No, I
became
did
my
score,
brother-in-law.
man. I did score. You're the best.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah.
best. I love.
So
this.
how long has it
Yeah.
been that you two have been brother-in-laws?
Well, he's been in the family for like 10 years now. And then you got married, what, 3, 4
Officially married for 3 years.
Sick.
Yeah, so
And
like
2 kids
legit
now?
brother-in-law, 2 kids,
So boy, girl.
boy, girl, pigeon pair, 7 and
Pigeon
5.
pair.
They actually act in some of
Yeah.
your
And what do they think of
shows too.
Is he the deadbeat uncle that gives him shit all?
They love Uncle Dan.
They
He's
actually
the-
like
yeah,
him?
they love him. They love him. He's a fun uncle. He always rocks up with like he buys them Lego and kind of cool toys and
Wow.
you know,
Which I'm
and
not
he's a
doing. I'm
dude.
not doing Lego anymore because when you buy them Lego, they go, "Oh, great, can we set it up now?"
And you
And it's
gotta
like
spend
4
time.
hours of setting up Lego.
Which
So-
is the actual. I didn't realize it until I became a dad. That's actually the cool thing about Lego is that when you buy your kids Lego, you get like 3 or 4 hours of mad hang time while you're making Lego together.
I feel like it'll be like an IKEA table for me.
That's how I feel.
You know what I
with
mean?
the
I'll be
Lego.
like, where does this go? Like, and I'll just get frustrated with the kids. Go,
Yeah.
why can't you do it?
Well, they have equally simple instructions like an IKEA table. So that's
There's no equally. There's photos of weird stick men doing the things that are not required.
You know, I don't really get
I don't-
the hang time with them. I love spending time with the kids, but like, I'm more focused on where the hell this piece of Lego goes.
Yeah, Kinder Surprise.
And they're going, hurry up. And I'm like, you have no idea what I'm dealing with right now.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Lego's really easy. Lego is really easy. The instructions are really simple.
Yeah.
It's not a.
I'm
You guys
talking
are
about-
making
I'm
it out
talking
to be
about
complicated.
Big spaceships. Even
Still
though-
simple, step by step, brick by brick.
is it still remember the other things, the Connects?
Techniques.
Connect to pens?
Techniques.
They were lit.
No. The ones with like the sticks and the wheels. And they're
Oh,
like
yeah. Well, that's still Lego. But they
It's
just had-
Techniques, isn't it? Lego
yeah,
Techniques.
Yeah, that's it.
Lego Techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lit.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Because
Lego.
It's just slightly more complex and it's got a bit of engineering to
So
it.
is there
and-
Play-Doh at your house?
Yeah, dude. We got
Heaps of
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh?
Heaps of
Did
Play-Doh.
you sniff it?
It's
Oh.
now carrying every disease and every I reckon if you put that Play-Doh and you split it into little petri dishes and then you just put them into like bacterial growing ovens,
It'd be
you would
like a
get like
specimen.
I think there'd be every strand of COVID, there'd be every type of flu virus.
Yeah, a bit of poo.
Yeah. There's poo everywhere. Like kids
So-
poo a lot.
You know when you flush the toilet after a big poo, the particles go into the air? So if you have your toothbrush outside,
Yeah, I've heard
most
that.
likely.
That's just too.
There's poo particles on everything. Everything. Like you're covered in poo particles. Like there's poo particles all here.
Yeah, we're all just covered.
Just
Life's
everyone's
gave us
just getting-
shit. Life's giving us shit, literally.
Yeah. Mushrooms.
Always. Mushrooms.
Back to
We've made
mushrooms.
Have you ever done mushrooms?
No.
No, it's Chillionaires, bro. We can
We could talk about.
you can get
mushrooms.
cancelled on here, bro. It's fine. No, that's cool if you haven't done mushrooms. I'm talking about the ones you just buy from Woolies anyway. I don't know. I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
where your head
we
was.
we do spaghetti bolognese kind of once a week, and I put a big stack of mushrooms in that.
Dope. That's great.
Yeah,
That
chop
sounds
them
really
up.
nice.
Yeah,
But Play-Doh, if they should make a Play-Doh candle. And you have
Oh
that-
wow! I
that's-
get that
so it
sense.
melts.
No, the scent.
The scent of Play-Doh. You know, it smells
Oh
so
yeah,
good.
the kind of like salty
That's
doughy.
good.
I bet you if you went on
Salty doughy. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
It is, isn't it?
Have you
sniff
licked
that for
it?
days.
I would have. I don't want to say I've never licked Play-Doh
I think
because
I've
I
licked
don't
it.
remember being 3 to 7, and I'm certain that across those years I would have licked some Play-Doh.
Play-Doh looks eatable, Edible.
Edible. Is it the same? Is it the same as it was, Christian?
It's exactly the same.
There's no advancements in Play-Doh.
No, Play-Doh technology has
No
remained
rate.
constant. It's been solid. It's one of
Expensive?
those things that they got it right the first time. They just got it right when they made it. They haven't had to change it. It's like getting on the Exia side now. I guess because most of the Play-Doh resources in the world come from Ukraine, and there's a thing happening in the Ukraine at the moment, and so the Play-Doh prices have been driven way up.
Just like fuel.
It's like
Damn
it's
that
gone from like $100
Damn
a
that
barrel to
water
$200 a barrel Play-Doh, and then now.
So
yeah.
now you got to
Now
kind
you
of
got generic
use
shit
the
Play-Doh.
existing Play-Doh you have, and it's just gaining more and more viruses.
Yeah,
It's
you got
actually gonna-
inferior.
yeah.
You got inferior Play-Doh coming
Yeah,
out.
this war's actually really fucking around.
Doesn't do the job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if you guys have been watching the markets, but yeah, the Play-Doh prices are just blowing
No,
up all
I
over
heard.
the world.
I heard about that. I saw that. I
Mm.
just kind of looked away. I didn't really want to.
Maybe
Didn't want it
it's-
to be true.
Maybe it's time for some Bondi dough.
So Christian,
Fully.
mate.
Yeah.
We
Had it
wanna-
made
we
out
wanna-
of sand at Bondi Beach.
Yeah,
just
you
mate, straight up.
We'll talk about this offline.
Yeah.
Or actually, just quick sand candle would be pretty sick too. You know how sand has that smell?
No.
You really? You're not gonna jump on that?
Nah. You had me with
This guy.
Play-Doh, not sand. Sand has no smell.
Sand
I've
candle.
never
There's a-
walked past and went, this place smells like sand. It's like glass. Glass doesn't have a smell.
I mean, it just would sound.
Beach.
Which is why products
Sandal.
taste so good when you drink them out of glass, because it's a very neutral.
It's neutral, cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's not sandy.
Well, let's
Beach candle, yeah.
let's move off from dough and sand. And Christian, I really want to ask you, mate. Like, I want to hear pretty much because your life changed when you went into quarantine with your tuberculosis. You had a full-time advertising job, was that right?
Yeah, I was working in advertising sales, like kind of media sales, working for a billboard company selling outdoor advertising space on billboards.
So how long ago was this?
This was in 2000 and at this time 2000 and about 6 through to 2009. I was working for that company.
So it was before acting, writing,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Which is what kind of
So you had a 9 to 5.
got you into it when you got TB. and went
So you're
into-
doing a 9 to 5,
Doing the 9 to 5.
Sydney.
Went on a holiday to South America with a couple of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Spent, month, 6 weeks, something like that, traveling around South America, predominantly in Brazil, but also went to Argentina, and then got back from that trip and just started coughing blood, and so
You were at a meeting, right?
I had
Yeah.
So you felt fine. You were back here.
I was back here. I didn't feel fine. I'd lost like 14 kilos in the space of kind of 2 weeks. I was having like hectic night sweats.
The turbo diet.
Yeah, yeah. Full Christian Bale, like what's that movie? The Machinist.
Yeah,
Or-
Machinist.
yeah.
Mechanic, the machete.
The Machinist diet.
The machinist.
And I'd so like obviously there was a lot of drinking, and on the holiday there was a lot of drinking and carrying on, and we'd stayed at hostels kind of the whole time, so it was a lot of late nights. And when I got back, I was just kind of like waking up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat. I had kind of had this cough that wasn't going away, and I was losing a lot of weight. And I kind of thought, when I got back, I just kind of thought it was my body getting rid of all the shit from the holiday, you know, like detoxing or whatever.
Yeah.
And just kind of, you know, coughing up all the darts I'd had on holiday and, you know, sweating out all the grog.
Pretty much what you do on a Sunday after a night out of
Just
Bondi.
getting the lung butter out.
Just get all that lung butter, straight out.
Yeah, butter.
And so I went to a client lunch. My client was Tourism Australia, and they'd booked this kind of big campaign across billboards around the country. And so the media guys from the agency who had booked that campaign and had spent about $800,000 with JC Deco, the company I was working for.
Juicy money in that.
So took them out for a celebratory lunch to say thank you.
Yep.
And as is done in the business world.
As you do.
And
boozy lunch, they say, right?
it was a boozy lunch.
Nice.
Fancy this place called the Pony Lounge in the Rocks. It was a kind of like nice restaurant, real good feed.
I had a pony.
I don't know that reference.
I don't know either.
Seinfeld. You remember the
Still
pony
don't know
one?
it, and I've watched it.
It's
There was no pony in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It was a horse. Okay, continue.
And so we're just like having lunch, and I started coughing, and the cough wouldn't go away. So I kind of like stood up and removed myself from the table, and I covered my mouth, and I was just like that, you know.
Do that. So what were you doing?
You saw it. You saw it. If anyone missed it, you can rewind, or you can go back 15 seconds.
No, you can
like and
you can like and subscribe.
Yeah,
thank you.
Do that. And then so like doing those ones, and then I kind of felt my hand felt wet, and I looked down at my hand, and it was just like covered in blood, and I was kind of like, oh fuck, that's not good. And then someone looked at me and they said, what, you got blood on your, like I just had blood on my chin.
Shit.
And everyone at the restaurant kind of assumed that I'd swallowed glass. So everyone just stopped eating. Like everyone, it's like a relatively small restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe two of this apartment.
Has that happened before or something? He's like, he swallowed glass.
The dude just swallowed some glass. But so everyone was kind of like freaking out, and it didn't have a bathroom in the restaurant. I had to run through this kind of little shopping mall to get to the nearest bathroom. And so I kind of just ran through, and I was in my suit, my bag of fruit, and ran all the way to the bathroom, and I just started coughing in this sink, and it just kept coming, like blood just kept coming. So what? It wasn't
specks of it. You're actually vomiting.
Like large amounts of blood, like a sink worth of blood, like horror film.
That's scary, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
terrifying.
And not just blood, but thick coagulated like chunks of what look like lung.
Lots.
You know, like look like lung, like
lung.
actual.
Like lining.
I'm like, I'm dead. Like this is me dying. This is definitely.
You like that's it.
This is dead. Like when you see this in a movie, you're like, that guy's dead.
Yeah.
It's like when do you see that? It's when someone's turning into a zombie. When someone's
or
like
lung cancer, severe
lung cancer, or they've
Breaking
got
Bad. You know.
So yeah,
Did that hit your mind? That would have hit my mind first. Lung cancer
first
straight
thing,
away.
I was like, darts got me. Darts got me.
I'm that guy.
I definitely have lung cancer. So I was like, I have lung cancer. That's in my head. That's what I'm thinking.
That's scary as.
And so then the ambulance comes and picks me up from the Pony Lounge, and I'm out the front now with blood everywhere. And so the ambos take me to the nearest hospital. The nearest hospital was Sydney Hospital up in Martin Place.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get rushed through. They chuck me in for an X-ray. And there's maybe this kind of hour and a half of just sitting waiting to hear what's going on with the X-ray and the this and that. So I'm just lying there for an hour and a half. I'm like, I've got lung cancer. I'm dead. I'm brown bread. This is it. And then the doctor came in and said, look, you've got a hole in your lung. It's about the size of a 50-cent piece. So that's this kind of size.
Fuck,
and I was like, a hole? What do you mean? And he's like, well, it likely would have been a cyst of some kind in the lung tissue. Mm-hmm. When you were coughing, that cough that wouldn't go away, that was, it was irritated, inflamed, and what it's done is it's burst. And so this cyst in the wall of your lung has burst, and so you've got all these blood vessels that run through there, and so what those blood vessels have burst, and now that blood's running into your lung, and that's what you're coughing up. And so I'm like, tell me it's the C word, right? And he's kind of like, well, there's a chance that it could. Worst case scenario is it's lung cancer.
There was actually a worse case scenario than that, though, right? I mean.
Well,
Is TB worse? Would you say TB's worse?
no, lung cancer's worse
Lung
for
cancer's
sure.
worse? Okay.
Because by the time they were like, it's TB, I was kind of like, phew, fuck.
Right.
Thank God. Like, it's a chronic illness, but it's not...
it's reversible, isn't it?
It's not lung cancer. It's not...
Righto.
You're not going to...
I guess because I thought there's like very rare...
like lung cancer...
the rate of like surviving TB is very rare.
So that's
that's been more or less fortunate countries though, right?
Yeah, and it's actually like standard TB is not the worst thing. Standard TB is, basically they've got great medications for it.
Yeah.
You do a bunch of meds for 3 weeks. They keep you isolated. And then you continue those meds for kind of 6 months and you're done.
Gotcha.
And that's, it only
so
requires
TB
a kind
a
of
lung
3.
disease? Is that
tuberculosis is a bacteria, but it predominantly is airborne and it sits within the lungs. And so the thing about TB is a very tiny, like really, really tiny little bacteria, and it can burrow all the way into your lung tissue. So your lung, like if you were to expand what a lung looks like, it's kind of got these tunnels in it that when you breathe, the oxygen as it's kind of like processing through your body goes into these little tunnels in the wall of your lungs, and it ends up going into your bloodstream or whatever the fuck a lung does. Mm-hmm. But the thing about TB is the bacteria itself is so tiny. It's shaped like a little tube. Like they look like this. Like the little TB things look like this, and these tiny little tubular things. But they go all the way into those little kind of like pipelines in your lung tissue, and they get so far in there that the natural antibodies and the natural like kind of things that you have within your immune system to fight off bugs struggle to actually reach the little organisms.
Okay, they go that far down the tunnel. And there's like, so what I ended up having, that's standard TB, is like they hit it with 5 antibiotics. They treat it like hardcore for 3 weeks and then kind of sustainable for 6 months, and you'll be fine. You won't have any ongoing troubles.
Yeah.
But that mortality rate for that isn't too bad. In with the Western world, it's not a great thing to get if you're HIV positive in Africa.
It's also not common like here in Australia.
No,
no.
So it's bacteria in the air or something. So would you have definitely got it in South America?
So that's the funny thing is they thought I must have got sick in South America because I just returned home. Yep. But what ended up happening over the course of several months is they kind of they ended up testing the bacteria that I had within my lung, realizing that it was multi-drug resistant. So this is why I had a really rare form, because normal TB, though rare, is very treatable. Multi-drug resistant TB is extremely rare in Australia and is quite rare around the world. We're seeing more of it with kind of the rise of drug resistant, illnesses, but that has a mortality rate of about 90%.
Oh, wow.
But the figure is driven up significantly by, countries where people can't access the medications required.
Middle of the Amazon or something.
Yeah, and just, my treatment was $1.5 million worth of treatment to get me better again from the point of having multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. Like
that's incredible.
The cost of quarantine, the cost of the medications. They had to go, this little organism that I had, the multi-drug resistant one, it shook off like every type of antibiotic they would give it, it would shake it off.
Wow.
Every one of the current modern antibiotics didn't work against it. And so they ended up giving me this combination of drugs from the 60s and 70s that are all off the market, that are extremely rare, hard to find. But they managed to, I had this like panel of 10 doctors around the country working on my case.
Shout outs to those doctors.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like how lucky are we? Like
I was just thinking,
was that all covered by the
it's
medical
all
system?
just the public healthcare.
I was just thinking, essentially, if that was in, like, say, America,
broke.
Or just broke. Dead. They're not gonna
dead. Yeah, dead.
That's it.
I like couldn't afford, like these medications. They're $5,000 a month. Like, and there's 5 of them.
That's
you know what I mean?
Like, and so
all
25 grand a month
to Christian.
Sorry.
Which is good. I'd rather that than like
I've probably paid that
thinking
back.
About something
hospitals and roads.
Yeah, I feel like I have paid that back now. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was gonna say the pothole, but I was like, nah, pothole pissed me off.
You can blame me when you see potholes.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
So at that time, could you move around? Were you bedridden? Like from the time that you started coughing up blood?
So when they started getting the combination of medications right, I started to feel physically kind of start to get better quite quickly. But there was a long period that I was coughing up blood. It was probably for the first 3 months I was coughing up blood.
So that wasn't okay. So it happened again. You were continuously coughing up blood.
Oh, every single morning I woke up, like, you know, I lie down asleep like this, just to show you what a person does when they're asleep. They lie down. Sorry,
the whole set.
I'm not going to reach that. But like every single morning I sat up, I would feel in my body, because basically what had happened is the blood had pooled in my lungs while I was laying on my back asleep, dried up from breathing. And then when I sit up in the morning, it all drops to the bottom of my lung, and it's like got a fucking layer of like skin on it. You know, like...
Yeah, like chocolate milk.
Yeah, it's a coagulated kind of like skin. Yeah, like exactly like the chocolate milk. Hot chocolate skin. Or like spaghetti sauce when you leave it.
Yeah. It's that.
simmering.
I always thought that hot
Membrane-y.
chocolate skin ruined the hot chocolate.
People grab that and go,
No.
Yeah.
Those people are fucked in the head.
Yeah.
That's a violation.
So you launch it.
Fuck those people.
And then, so like every morning I'd feel that in my body. I'd just feel this, and then I'd walk to the sink and just cough it all up, get it out of me, and then, yeah. But then once that, basically as the antibiotics were treating the bugs, one of the interesting things about the little small organism that it is as it retreats away, trying to fight the little mini Russia-Ukraine scenario that's happening between your antibodies and the bacteria within your lung.
Send in the ghost of Kiev. Kiev, is it?
Kiev.
The ghost of Kiev.
Kiev is what you put in the oven, mate.
No, they've just called them now. They've changed them to Chicken Kievs. Like they've just changed whatever the city name is. They're changing. Woolworths are changing Chicken Kievs into Chicken that.
Oh, so
What, as a protest?
To support
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like an odd one. I don't know how much it's going to do.
What can we do? Like, we've got to change the
We chicken support you. Yeah.
It's so weird corporate response to like legit heavy stuff in life, because, you know, remember when COVID first hit and every brand that advertised were like, we know what it's like being isolated.
So
like
quick.
Colgate
ads or some shit. It
was like every ad was just like, you know, we're doing it tough with you. We have your back. It's just like, what? You're not a person. You're a company.
Yeah. You're an ad.
You're an ad. What are you doing?
You're trying to make me buy things.
Yeah. Like it literally is just wants you to buy a thing. So it's trying to make you feel like it's going through the same hardship as you. Anyway.
Yeah. So with the TB, is it preventable? Like, can you get a shot to not get it? Like,
we all get we all kind of get it when you get that big, those vaccinations when you're a kid. Part of that is TB, I think. But the thing about the virus or the bacteria is that it's kind of like it's evolved through so many generations. Like, you know, these little organisms have such an advantage over us because they're having generations so quickly and they're constantly changing, shifting, evolving.
So they're adapting
to our bio.
To our vaccines as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly. So you could be vaccinated to it and there can be 150 strands of the thing that aren't covered by whatever vaccination you've got.
So you were coughing up blood every morning.
Oh, so your question was, did you get it in South America? So
I was trying to.
Yeah.
Are we coming back to that question?
I hadn't quite answered it. Yeah. So when they'd found the... Oh, sorry, we can come back to that.
No, go whichever one's first.
And then, so when they grew it in the petri dish and they studied the kind of resistancy pattern of it, they went, oh, you didn't get this in South America. Have you ever been in Africa, South Africa? And I was like, yeah, I lived there in 2004, 2005. I lived there for a year and a half. And they're like, well, you've probably caught it then and it's been dormant. And so what can happen is you can have latent TB. So you can have it in your lungs. You just your immune system holds it there and it never comes out. And then you could be living for 25 years with TB. It hasn't come out, and then you have a car accident, you know, and some organ gets ruptured, and your immune system crashes, and then the TB goes, now it is our time. And it goes and flourishes.
Oh, it waits for the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
And so they reckon what I did in South America was I just burnt out my immune system partying, but the TB was already sitting there from Africa, and it just went like, we're on, boys. And then, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So they can pinpoint where it was. That's pretty crazy.
Because basically what happens like foreign aid is wonderful. We need foreign aid. You need it for we can help a lot of people via foreign aid. But what happens with an illness like TB is that, you know, one of the organisations suddenly gets
they've got $5 million to do some TB treatment, right, in their budget. And so they call up the different drug companies and they're like, hey, look, we've got $5 million to spend on treating TB. What drugs can you give us for that? And so the drug company might go, oh yeah, give us a second. They go check their supplies and they've got like, they're running out, they're at the bottom of the barrel on 3 different drugs, and they go, all right, we'll give you fucking $10 million worth for $5 million. And then that makes the...
I heard that's how the call went. Like, yeah, give us a sec.
Give us a sec, bro. I'll just check the fucking... Yeah, no, we got some ethambutol. We got some rahampatine and...
Chucking some...
ethambutol. And so but what happens, right, is then that organisation gets a whole bunch of medications, and they go out into the community and they kind of start giving those medications out, but they're not always being followed through to completion. So if I start taking these antibiotics here, there's a system called DOTS, which means I have to rock up every single day. The doctor has to see me eat the tablets, and that has to happen for 6 months. Like my overall treatment went for 18 months, right? So even when I got out of hospital after being there for 6 months, I had to go to a hospital every single day for another 12 months to get my medications.
And is that legally they have to watch you do it?
They have to see you put it in your mouth and eat it, because if you don't, the bugs can come back and they can now be immune to every single antibiotic that you had been taking.
Wow.
So my one that was already immune to kind of like 7 or 8 different antibiotics, if it then in me got immune to the 5 antibiotics that I was taking, it would turn into like XDR TB, which is extensively drug-resistant TB, which is like a fucking death sentence.
Yeah, you can't do much about
and
it.
You don't want to spread
you're kind of
that.
tethering on that. Like you're kind of looking at that on the other side of the door, going, okay, I don't want that door to open.
100%.
Sort of thing. And if I don't do these steps, that door could potentially open.
Yeah, and coming back to that thing with the foreign aid, so it's like they might. This is the complex problem. Is say they've got their $10 million worth of medications, right? And they're like, okay, so we can potentially treat 10,000 people with TB in this area, or we can treat 10,000 people for 3 months, or we can treat 2,000 people for 6 months. And often the choice just gets made to try and treat more people if you can.
Yeah.
They might not get the full period of medication.
So you just got to hope when you have TB, like there's not many other people at that point in time who have it.
Yeah.
So through that process, did you fear for your life? Like the 18 months in...
There was a point in the middle of it where they'd kind of yet to crack the combination of the medications. And at that point, my tests just kept coming back. Like it just... Yeah, by that point, I'd been bleeding for a while. I was really just kind of emotionally exhausted, spiritually exhausted, and I didn't know if they were ever going to be able to find the right medications for it. And so there was a point then when I was kind of like, I had a big breakdown, but it was almost like the next day was when recovery kind of started, because it was like I'd accepted the worst case scenario, and then I was kind of like, and ever since then, life's been heaps easier, because I think I had a full-on kind of face your death moment inside the hospital room, and kind of got cool with it, and kind of went, it's going to be really sad that I never have a chance to have kids, or won't be able to do this, or won't be able to do that. And I was 27 years old.
Yeah, wow.
Fuck, that's so young.
And then since then, I've just kind of frothed on everything, because it just feels cool to be living.
Did it feel like a second chance? Did it feel like a reset button?
100% reset button.
That's hectic. What was so you were isolated for 6 months, just by yourself?
So where was that?
In a one
I mean,
room?
people could come visit me. They've just got to put on gloves and masks, and
So you could transmit the disease.
Well,
you could cough on someone and they could get tuberculosis. Or?
I was in an airtight. The kind of room was they call them a vacuum kind of they've got some proper name for it, but basically the room has a pressure door, an air pressure door, so air doesn't come in or go out. So it's my air stays my air in the room. And so if you want to come visit me in hospital, you can come and visit me. You just got to whack a mask on and a pair of gloves on and a little gown or whatever. And you can come into the room and you can hang out, and in a perfect world, you wouldn't get the disease. You shouldn't get it if you're that far away from me and you're wearing a mask and I'm sitting here and we're in the airtight room. But, my brother was coming in and hanging out for like hours. He'd come in, Connor would come in and just hang out with me for hours.
Yeah, that's...
And the doctors were like, "Oh, it's pretty sketchy. You probably shouldn't be in there that long." And he's just like, he just didn't care. He just wanted to hang out.
But no one got
it.
it.
Connor.
He's the best brother ever.
Did you guys play Uno? Just so.
Fuck. No, we didn't play Uno.
Because we got some...
That would have been... That was plus... Yeah, we had an Oge last night.
And there's some weird rules I found out in Uno.
We'll get to that. That's a whole nother can of worms. That's a whole podcast.
So did anyone else get it from you?
No, but so basically,
not that we know. We could.
You know what I mean? Because he's coughing blood up in the restaurant.
And I was sat in a plane on the way back from South America coughing. But they basically took everyone within 2 rows in front of me in the plane, everyone within 2 rows behind me in the plane, everyone that way and that way. They all got tested. They all had to go to get tested.
You got contacted and had to do that. That's incredible.
There were a couple of people a couple of people in my life when they got the test, they came up not positive with TB, but that they had TB in their system. So again, I think none of them ever got, they never had the disease that came with it, but they had the bacteria. They had exposure to the bacteria.
Wow.
Yeah. How was I know like your brother like Connor was coming in and out, but like when you were alone, like how was your mental health? Like how was your mindset? Like I know you probably watched every porn video ever made.
I watched all the porn on the internet.
Every porn. You
probably
probably found porn that
finished
no
it.
You
finished porn.
Finished
the porn.
He clocked it.
Yeah. It's like
I'm nearly there.
Yeah.
Then that was that before Tinder and stuff? You couldn't even have a cheeky swipe then.
Oh yeah, no, that didn't exist.
What year was it? It was probably like MILF Hunter preview days.
Bang Bus days.
2009.
Was that YouTube?
It's even early YouTube. Like, it was pretty early.
It was
YouTube.
early YouTube.
Might have been UJizz, that one.
What happened to UJizz?
YouPorn?
YouPorn. I bet no, UJizz is old school.
I find those names a bit confronting. Like they're a bit too you. Like they're a bit like I feel like you do porn to escape you. It's a bit like I don't like when they're called you porn. It's like hold on a second, like
Well, RedTube.
I mean, by this time we are doing most of the shit that's in there lately.
RedTube.
RedTube.
Yeah, that was the thing. I think
that was the one.
Yeah, that was the one that made the breakthrough. Then Pornhub.
Yeah, Pornhub.
Then the Hub.
Stomped on.
Now it's just called the Hub.
Is it?
No, it's Pornhub.
Oh, but everyone calls it.
Yeah, the Hub.
Yeah, no. So watched a lot of porn, but you also made a lot of, well, not porn, but you made a lot of YouTube videos in your spare time.
Yeah, I guess so. One of the side effects of one of the medications is called cycloserine.
Yum.
And the medication of one of the side effects with that was mega depression and suicidal tendencies. Which is like you can see why it's not on the market anymore, right?
Yeah, I call that Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Sunday morning after a night out in Bondi.
And they but that drug also just scrambled my brain. Like and I could not pay attention or focus on anything. So I'd bought all these books and I just couldn't read because I'd get like 3 pages. As soon as I take my medications, I get 3 pages into reading something and all the words just turn to mush.
That happens to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm taking the same medication as well, man. I'm pretty sure I've had this since I was 5. It's in tap water.
It's fluoride, bro.
Fluoride. That's not the medication, bro.
But then the same thing was happening. Like if I was like watching TV series, it was just my trying to like follow and pay attention to things was just very difficult.
Porn though, sweet.
Yeah, I mean like you only have to pay. You only need a minute and a half, don't you?
So wait, let's be honest. Pause it. So whose stepmom was this?
Yeah.
So Charlie.
The storyline's not making sense. Yeah, I need to follow this.
Do you remember Pirates? Just a little tangent.
Yeah, Pirates.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's
it was like the biggest porn production.
Absolute classic.
Ever.
Really?
I think it was $1 million or $2 million porn.
There was one. I think the last one they did was $2 million.
$2 million production.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, you should watch that one. Yeah,
you guys know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I've heard.
You're more across it. You're more across.
This is like 20 years ago.
So you couldn't pay attention to much shit.
No,
yeah, so I just started making things really. Like that was the. And I'd noticed because lots of my mates were coming to visit me, and I noticed they were all feeling a bit weird about. Like that's the weird thing when someone's kind of going through a big health thing. I could sense that people didn't really know how to kind of deal with it, or how to talk to you about it, or how to kind of like. So it's pretty hectic, isn't it? You know, like it's all a bit. There's something awkward in there.
Yeah, you don't want to make it obvious that you sympathise or empathise for them.
Yeah,
you don't want to pity them too hard or whatever. And you don't want to make them feel like, oh, you could be dying, bro. Like you don't want that communication. So I noticed just a lot of people were feeling a little bit awkward about it. And so I was like, I just bought a MacBook not too long ago before I got sick. And I'd been staring at GarageBand for a while, and I kind of wanted to work out how to use it. And so I thought, I'm sitting here with no attention span. I may as well just like work out how to use GarageBand. And so I kind of like built a beat, like a shit fucking rap beat. And then I just started saying, like, mucking around, saying words. But everything I was thinking about was being sick and, the fact that I was sick. And so I just wrote these lyrics out about, about being sick and kind of telling the story of what had happened to me to get me in hospital.
In a satirical sort of way.
Just in a silly way. I was going like, the chorus of the song was like, I'm not sick in the sense of being sick, but I'm sick in the sense of being sick. And it's like, it was about, I'm not sick like you sick. I'm sick like actually sick. And
but it also sounds like you're sick.
Yeah.
So what, you made a actual song?
Yeah, so I just made this song and then on GarageBand and I literally just recorded it with the laptop mic,
Yeah.
And then a mate came in to visit and he's like, oh, what have you been doing? And I was like, oh, I made this. What do you reckon? I pressed play and listened to it and he's like, fuck, that's funny, man. You should make a video for it. I was like, I can't make a video. I don't have any camera or anything. He's like, oh, there's a built-in camera in your laptop. Just use the photo booth thing.
No way.
So I just filmed myself rapping to it with the photo booth and I just moved laptop
just
around.
off that laptop, you can create a beat, write your lyrics, and make a music video. There's no excuses for anyone.
I know.
Especially
when
it's
you're crazy.
Yeah, if you're out there and you want to become like a musician or do something like that, you have no excuse now.
I know. It's just like between a phone and like everyone has what was effectively a television studio 15 years ago. People now having a laptop and a phone.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's incredible.
And so then I ended up making this video to it, and I wasn't a super techie guy. So I exported the video and it came up at like 156 megabytes or something. And my mate was going like, send me the video. And so I was trying to email it to him. And I had a Hotmail, you can't email 156 megabytes. No. So I'm like, oh, it's not sending. Like I can't, it's not going to work.
And this is all about how you created Dropbox and now you're a billionaire.
Yeah. And so that's that's why I came here via helicopter. And then,
that would have been a cool story.
Yeah. And that's hence why I'm on Chillionaires, because I'm a billionaire.
We are the millionaires of chillin'. So it makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, and so then I went to, he's like, oh, there's this website called YouTube. I like hardly knew about YouTube. And he's like, this website called YouTube, just upload a video to it. And then you just send me the link, you don't have to send me the whole video.
Yeah.
So I did that and I just kind of like uploaded it and I sent him the link and he posted it on his Facebook. I didn't have a Facebook thing. Like I was a bit, at this point, I was a bit anti-social media. I was like, I just don't like the fact that it takes you away from your friends. Like, I feel like you just watch everyone. You don't actually engage with them. You don't blah, blah, blah.
Like a late adopter.
So I was a late adopter. And he shared it on his Facebook. And then the next day, I just like looked at my, YouTube video that I'd uploaded and it had 10,000 views on it.
In like a 24 hours?
Yeah, in like a day.
Incredible.
So I sent it to him, I probably sent it at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And the next morning at 9 a.m. there were 10,000 views on it. And I was like, what the hell?
How many times have you watched this,
and
bro?
I said, yeah. I called him up and I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, I've shared it on my Facebook and all these other people have been sharing it off my Facebook. And then he's like, it's one of them is Ben Fordham, and Ben Fordham was like a radio guy and a breakfast, TV host. And so then later that day, Ben Fordham calls me and he's like, man, can I get you on the radio? Can I have a chat to you? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we chatted on the radio. And then after that, he called me back and he's like, mate, my friend Layla McKinnon, she's like, she's married to, the dude who runs Channel 9. Can't remember what his name is. Ginge?
David
Ginge.
Yeah.
Shout out David.
Yeah, man. I think he actually used to live up the road here.
Yeah, we're boys.
Yeah. He's going to come on Chill. We should get him on Chillionaires. That would be huge.
After Jackman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did we tell you Hugh Jackman's coming on the show? We've actually.
Sick.
Yeah. Because he literally lives just down there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
we got
that's
binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kinda-
great.
yeah, it's gonna
So
be
whether he wants to be on it or not, he's going to be on it.
yeah.
It's not an option. Yeah. It's not up to him to decide. It's not
Yeah.
a consensual activity.
Nah, he's coming.
Yeah.
I think he's coming in.
He was
in a
begging
couple
us, and we're like, wait, we need to get Christian on. Like,
Yeah, can you hold on?
That's
We'll see
sick.
Christian on.
That's sick. I'm stoked that you guys saw me before Hugh Jackman. Thank you.
100%.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can wait.
I would like to come back when you get him on, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah. We'll probably have a few people.
I like
we'll
you.
get an audience for this one.
I'm just Wolverine.
We might do a
Wolverine,
debate.
mate.
You know, we might
Wolverine.
even set up a debate.
Yeah.
Affirmative, negative.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jackman v. Christian.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, fuck.
What was
Don't
I
worry
talking
Hugh,
about?
yeah.
What was I saying?
Yeah, I
So
know.
the music tuberculosis song, that was your first YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No. So now you're starting getting on the radio.
Yeah,
yeah,
and so
right.
then he's like,
McKinnon.
Layla McKinnon, who's married to Ginge. He's like, oh, she's fun. Get, flirt with her a bit. Get on the show.
You're
or whatever.
done. I've been.
He's
like-
taking his pants
Yeah.
off as he's speaking to him.
Well, I actually just I made a song that was like,
Taking his shirt off.
It takes it too far.
yeah.
sends her a-
Fordham's like, settle down, man.
Fordham's
like,
like,
this is actually now you
Leave your
this
socks
is
on,
like,
mate. Yeah.
This is inappropriate. This is really inappropriate.
Yeah. So he sent her. A
But
song.
so then, then I made her a song and sent it to the TV show because they said they were going to have me on, and so then I made another song and they had me on the radio, and then after being not on the radio, on the television, and then after being on the TV that weekend, then the video had 100,000 hits,
Wow.
and then
it's quite a quick come up. On
it was
this
pretty
song.
quick.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick.
Within a week, you've seen all this.
Yeah.
Had
That's
100,000 views in a week. But this is like, remember too, this is when YouTube was like, it was bum fights and,
School fights.
Probably weren't
and
making money
Trent
off
from
it,
Punchy.
yeah.
Like that was Trent
those
from
days.
Punchy beached as.
I heard he's made a recovery.
Trent?
He went to rehab.
Oh,
He's-
good.
He's doing good.
That's
He's coming.
good.
Yeah, he's coming on the show.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I
great.
think we got him in next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, he's
Another
like,
guest.
I feel like he's kind of, Trent is that's the recovery that we all needed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, he's
you
just-
know.
at this point, he's an Australian icon. Trent from
He
Punchy.
is.
He really is. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be good to hear about him. But so it was Trent from Punchy, bum fights. And I don't
Yeah,
think it
like
was
there wasn't that
monetized.
much stuff. Like there wasn't that much content going out on YouTube at that time. Like it was fast growing, but
that was Mac Miller days, 2009. Like
Yeah, it was
he
like-
was like the first kind of like YouTube rapper
Yeah,
to blow
right.
up.
Yeah.
I remember it was around that time.
It was like I used to look up. Remember the Asian? I think it was Japan or Chinese game shows, and it was like
Yeah,
when they run
those
through
wild
the streets,
game
those
shows.
human experiment ones where they're all squat down around like a few people.
Squid Game, eh?
Yeah. Squid Game. It was like before it was just crazy. I think it was Japanese pranks.
Wow.
Oh yeah, pranks was a big surge.
Pranks,
but,
yeah, like
Pranks.
those kind of Montreal comedy
And
style
that was
pranks.
when when pranks
Yes.
were real. Now they
yeah,
kind of like
now it's
staged.
all like
Yeah.
Yeah.
get your mate to do that.
Yeah. So what? So it's blowing up on YouTube.
blowing up on YouTube, and then I basically, so when I was on the radio, when I was on the TV, they put like a super over there was a picture of me, and they put over it, they wrote Fully Sick Rapper over it. Like, and so I hadn't called myself the Fully Sick Rapper. I just had uploaded the videos as me or whatever.
Yeah.
But they put Fully Sick Rapper on that. And then some girl started a Facebook page that was called I Love the Fully Sick Rapper. And then people
That was
started
Daniel.
signing on to that. Yeah.
That
it
was him. That was
Thanks,
his
Dan. Thanks, Dan.
Got you, bro.
And then people started liking that page. And then she just messaged me and goes, hey, I set this page up for you, but now all these people are liking it. Do you just want to run the page? So I did that, and I
Shout
just
out to
changed
this
it.
chick. Was she
Yeah,
hot?
what's this?
She's just very nice. I think
Are you
lots of
still
people
in-
help you.
So
Like,
she wasn't. So she wasn't hot.
I think she
No,
was.
I'm joking.
Are you
Shout
still-
out
are
to
you still-
this
still
guy.
in
It wasn't
touch
about
with
that.
Do you know of her? Is there like she's your manager now or something?
No,
one of
it's
those
just
stories? No, you
it's just
fucker.
just a person. A person.
Thanks for that.
But this is like no. This is like honestly what happens when you're sick and you're in hospital or whatever. Like all these people come out of the woodwork.
So you're
to just
still in
help you with
hospital at
things.
this point.
Yeah, I'm in hospital.
So all the Fordham, Layla McKinnon,
It's all just I'm sitting in my
He's in
hospital
quarantine.
bed.
That's
team.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you did like interviews off your laptop?
So then this is like anyway. I take over that page. I called myself the Fully Sick Rapper. I changed the like YouTube channel to say that stuff and make the song titles like from the Fully Sick Rapper.
Yep.
And I just ran with that. And then And then I made one more video. This is about a week later. I made one more video, and that one just went boots overnight, like 1 million views.
What was that
overnight.
one? Is that still on YouTube?
That was
Yeah.
called The Fully Sick Rapper, though. Title,
Yeah, that
right?
was called Life in Quarantine.
Oh, that's Life in Quarantine.
And
I think I have seen that. It's one with the film clip.
Yeah. I think they all have film clips.
They've all got clips now,
Okay.
but again, that one was still just shot on the laptop camera.
Yeah, that one blew up.
But that one blew up, and that ended up on like international. So that ended up on like the Huffington Post and like New York Times, and but like got shared around kind of the big media cycle.
Where it's just game over, kind of viral.
And what, would you get any money from that? Like
Nah.
YouTube, there's nothing at that point.
But it connected, like it.
Open
Remember
doors.
this? This is like dark me who thinks I'm going to die. Me,
your brain
like in the
scrambled.
brain scrambled worst place of my life, and I'm suddenly connected with people all over the world from within my hospital room. So like, I got a lot more than money. Like I suddenly had people reaching out, going like, "Bro, I've got TB. I'm in blah. Here's what struggle I'm going through. How are you doing?" I got people contacting me, going like, "I'm in Germany. I'm trying to get treated with this. Now I have mushrooms in my lungs. I'm going through this." I got the World Health Organization contacting me, going like, "It's World TB Day coming up. Can we get you on to talk about that stuff?"
Wow.
I'm like, I'm suddenly,
What the hell, man?
yeah,
It's insane.
I'm like
That's
suddenly
so
connected
cool.
with people all over the world. And I just feel way better about my situation. I suddenly have all this extra perspective of like, oh my gosh, like I've been feeling bad, but how lucky am I? Like how privileged am I that I'm sitting in a hospital bed that the government are paying for when there's like people all jammed into, there's 25 people jammed into like some fucking tent somewhere where they're struggling to get medications and
Sharing
they can't.
needles.
Like, it's, made me feel really, really fortunate. And I suddenly went, hold on, like this isn't bad. You're lucky. Like, and so it just
Blessing
changed
in
the
disguise.
it changed the whole shape of my treatment.
That's 1 week. Your whole perspective changed.
Yeah.
So
From doing that video, from being like creative inside quarantine. That's amazing.
And probably outside of all that other stuff, what it did, the biggest thing for me that it did is it brought my brother and I back together, because we'd been like, we were inseparable as kids. We were so close. We're always dressing up like in similar outfits, play fighting. We did martial arts together. We were super tight. And then somewhere around the teenage years, I just turned into a little dickhead and was, grumpy about wanting the bigger bedroom, and he got better Christmas presents than I did, and what's dumb teenager shit.
Domestics.
And for some reason, we just weren't kind of mates anymore. And then I got sick, and he just came to visit me all the time. And when I made those videos, he was like, man, I've been like, he'd studied film at UTS, so he'd done a proper film degree, and he'd made his first short film. And he's like, man, I've just made this short film that I've like slogged my ass off to make, and no one's watching it. I can't really get it out there. You've just made this thing on your laptop, and now hundreds of thousands of people have seen it. Why don't we make stuff together? And I was like, fuck, that's unreal. And so we just started making stuff together, and he started showing me how to, he started helping with the videos. He started like editing and doing special effects stuff, and started showing me how to use different software. And we bought a camera together, and then he'd start to come in there and film stuff. And we just kind of like, just started working together from inside my hospital room. And where he was only ever supposed to spend like 20 minutes at a time, and he was coming and spending 8-hour days there.
Yeah,
so we could like shoot and make stuff.
I'm such
together.
a big believer in like anything that has like a negative, like any negative thing that you have going on does have a positive side to it. Like pretty much everything. Like you're
lemons to lemonade, bro. We've gone full circle.
The mushrooms are growing, man.
Yeah.
But like just because you could have been in that hospital bed just feeling sorry for yourself, just depressed, or just let it really get you even worse. And then just by simply creating and having fun, you just flip the whole thing on its back. And I don't know, I think that's just such a good takeaway from that whole part of the story.
Yeah, I think I do think that there's a power in making stuff, or a power in creating stuff. And so like it can benefit you in a million different ways other than what you might think you're creating for.
Yeah.
And
you probably helped out a lot of other people who were in hospital beds watching that, like 100%. Like that would have been.
And it shows the power of the mind. I mean? It's all a mindset that you would have had.
And they helped me, man. Like there's these kids in America. One of them was like, dude, you know, you're stuck there in a hospital room. Can I take you to my prom? Like, do you want to come to my prom? And so then he printed, like, this group of mates printed my head out, like pictures of my head, and they all wore my head to their prom.
That's awesome.
And then they sent me all the photos of like me dancing with hot chicks in prom, and like, and
That's
they just
so
they sent me this set of like
Random
40
American.
photos of like, here's the wild night you just had, and it's like pictures of Americans dancing in my head in
Oh,
nightclubs.
it's
and
dead set. Shout
Americans
outs to
running
those,
around the
shout outs
streets.
to those boys. Hey, what legends.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah,
it
that's
was
cool.
sick.
So
It was just stuff like that.
do you think if you didn't have the, or who knows, but do you think that if you didn't have the TB, would you have got into film? You had no sort of
I don't reckon.
inkling into movie and TV and
I
creating,
did like drama and stuff as a kid.
but that wasn't the direction you were going in before that.
I just wouldn't have seen that you could possibly do this as a job.
Yeah.
Like I
Sort
would
of
have
as a
never.
hobby.
Yeah. And I played in a band when I was younger. We had like a kind of, it was
What
like
instrument? What'd you
I
do?
played bass and sang, but we were like
Slap
a kind
at
of.
the bass.
Yeah, just
I
walking
know I
that
used a
baseline.
pick. I was
Slap at the-
lazy. I
Oh,
used
he's
a pick.
okay,
Yeah.
he's a picker.
Yeah. But it was like we you know, we had kind of punky music. There's a bit, you know, kind of like California punk, no effectsy kind of Blink-182-y kind of stuff. But even doing that, like we did that pretty solid for a couple of years, and even doing that, I was like, oh, there is no future career or industry in, you know, creativity or doing creative stuff.
Yep.
And so I'd kind of like, I don't know whether that was me emotionally protecting myself from the failure of it.
100%.
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah. I think so.
I think I would have just feared putting myself out there and failing. So
Also, a really good way to kick off, like going viral straight away. You've already built like a platform for yourself. to
yeah,
then
that
release
was
future
yeah.
projects on.
Yeah, you know it could happen. You know, you
Yeah.
can get 100,000 views.
Yeah.
Especially
We-
back then with just like one avenue.
Now it's so much harder because it's
There's
like
so many,
all
it's
all these
flooded.
avenues, and also everyone's making everything. All
Well,
the
how do
time.
you
Yeah.
see quality? That's the difference.
Yeah.
The quantity's there
Yeah.
for the quality of like a funny video. So what was Bondi Hipsters the breakthrough for yourself?
That then became so my brother and I, first step was my brother and I with the stuff that we filmed in hospital, we'd planned on doing this kind of big web series. But we ended up kind of cutting it together and entering it in this film contest that was being run by MTV called the 180 Project, the MTV 180 Project. And we submitted this kind of like idea for a show in that, and we won, and we got $180,000 budget to make a pilot, a television pilot. So we made a television pilot, and it was called Sick, and it was kind of the story of a, you know...
Which is on YouTube, right?
Well,
You can watch it.
Stan,
still?
isn't
It's
it
on
Stan
YouTube.
or somewhere else?
Nah,
Oh,
Sick's
It's actually
on
good.
YouTube.
It's actually
That's on
really
YouTube.
good.
Yeah.
It's like for your first crack at like something kind of
So
legit.
it's a web
Yeah, I mean, there was
series or just
so
a-
much of my brother in that. You know, he
Yeah.
worked so hard. He, like for a year and a half, all he did was work on that. He
Yeah,
just like
it's unreal.
he-
Whoever's watching this, go check it out. Sick on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a 9-part series now on YouTube. But so we made that as a 60-minute episode. But that became our kind of like first. That was a piece of work we could then show to production companies and other people to kind of work with us professionally. But what happened on that is that we hired Nick Bosher to play one of the roles, and Nick is Trent from. Well, he knows Trent from Punchy.
He knows
He
Trent.
knows
No,
Trent.
Yeah.
And Nick had done a whole bunch of like great stuff, and he played this character. And we just had such a fun time working together that when Sick was over,
Didn't you meet Nick at a YouTube convention?
we met at a YouTube conference, and I was talking about Fully Sick Rapper, and he was talking about
He was doing Beach Dads.
Beach Dads.
Yeah, he did Beach Dads.
Oh, he
he's-
did Beach Dads.
He did.
he's the
Beach
whale voice.
He's
yeah.
on Parched Dads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
Too much
100%.
clout, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, all the things. He was
That's
like on.
So that was
he-
before Trent? Is that before he
That was
met
about the same
Trent?
time as Trent. Around
Yeah,
the same
he just
time. that
he
met
just went.
Trent.
Here you go. Here's 2 things you'll never forget.
Oh, Plankton. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and so like we'd met at a YouTube conference, and so anyway, then Con and I hired him to be in Sick, and then after that we just had such a fun time, and he was so talented that
You two bounce off each other so
Yeah,
incredibly.
the dynamic's
Dynamic's insane. So,
we've got a real fun performance chemistry thing going, and he's like his improvisation's next level. Like he's a really hard guy to sit next to and not fucking laugh.
I've been on most of the back when Bondi Hipster started. I was on most of the sets and watching you guys do the scenes. But was that? I'm pretty sure that was not scripted at all. Nothing scripted, right?
We had scripts.
You did
so we
have
write scripts,
right?
But then
You got
what
it.
happens in the process of writing the scripts is that we kind of have a million ideas that we still have to like narrow these scripts down to a few pages each or whatever for the videos. And so we have all these ideas and we kind of cull them down to what we think are the best ones, and that's our script that we work to. But then on the day when you start riffing, lots of those ideas just kind of come out when you just start bantering. The ideas that you threw away kind of come back, but they're in different forms because they've like crystallized differently in your head since
But I
then.
think that's what's good about it, because you're not sticking to a script, like you're following every single word. That's why it looks so natural.
We just get slippery with it, like and riff off. And then Nick just comes up with random things, like he'll just go, you know, there are things that Nick has just come up with in the moment that become integral to parts of those characters. Like he'll just go like, you know, we'll be arguing as characters and he'll just go like, oh, Dom, just because your uncle touched you on the dick. And then it's like, it's just a thing he said, but then now it's baked into Dom's backstory that his uncle touched him on the dick one time. And it's like part of the trauma that character has to unpack in future episodes.
Yeah, so now he's damaged goods.
It's a running joke.
Yeah, and I'd do similar things to him, you know. It'd be like, oh, just because your dad runs fucking Macquarie Bank. Now his dad's the CEO of Macquarie Bank, you know. But it's really fun.
That's what makes it funny, I guess, for us watching.
Yeah.
My favorite was probably the Soulmates.
Oh, Soulmate
series. That was.
I mean, I love that one episode that I'm in.
Yeah.
That's the best episode.
I'll give you a story of this. So Vuko Dutch calls me one day and he goes, "Look, because what was it on? It was on ABC at that point.
Yeah, it was on ABC.
Yeah.
So it was on some night he rang me. I just moved to Sydney, so I'm living with my mum and sister, and we got like popcorn. You know, we're just sitting down here watching it, and I'm like, yeah, like my best mate, like Dutch is going to be on there tonight. And I'm waiting. He didn't tell me like what he's doing on there. So I'm waiting. I literally got up to like get a drink and I hear my mum goes, "There's Vuko." And I turn around and just look at it and then he's off the screen. Dead.
Dead.
He said a line. I was surprised he had a line.
Yeah, I gave him a line.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I said like, "Thank you, you're excellent." I was talking to a big bird.
Yeah, that's right.
I was talking to a big man,
right.
like a big.
It was literally. This bird was literally. What's his name? He used to play for Manly. Big fucking
biggest dude.
Ian,
lovely dude,
footy player. What's his name?
Ian something.
Oh my gosh,
Mad Dog.
letting him down.
Like the biggest tank you've ever seen. Like he's just solid.
Really, like
brick.
old boy footy player.
But no, it was AFL or NRL?
No, he's an NRL. Like he used to play for Australia. He used to play for the Waratahs. Like great forward. And he's an actor now as well. But anyway, he was playing this giant bird character. So he wears this bird mask. And he's got these huge arms. He's fucking massive. And doesn't he beak your guts out within like... Wasn't that what happened? You go, "Sorry, Your Excellence."
I think he has a knife.
I think he slits his throat.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, my gut. So I was holding all these gut things, and then he just goes zoom, and I just drop the guts.
You drop the guts.
You see it like fall, like from behind, like through my leg.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just fall down. Yeah, and I said, "Yes, Your Excellence."
Your Excellence.
Yeah.
Excellence.
And I was like, "Oh, fuck." Yeah.
Far out.
So
that was a fun show to make. Yeah. That was like, you know, that was kind of we got 2 seasons of that with the ABC. The second season got co-financed by an American network called CISO, who no longer exist because they probably made terrible investment choices like Soulmates. But they kind of just ran around funding everything everywhere and then disappeared. But it was like awesome to get to do 2 seasons of that. We had so much fun, and you know. My brother and I we did a lot of like working together, co-writing, co-directing, getting to kind of narrow in more cleanly on our collaboration, and you know, getting to do it. He did, you know, and so my bro's a stunty, right? And he was all lined up for this massive stunt job on Fury Road, like to do Mad Max Fury Road, and like, so when they were in Broken Hill, he was training there in Broken Hill. But people don't understand what money these stunt guys make. Like the guys who did Fury Road have come home. They get points on the film. So
they get royalties.
Stunties get royalties.
Oh,
so
really?
you get your fee and then you get fucking checks, man.
I think anyone that's been on camera, anyone that's actually on camera gets royalties, isn't it?
Well, not like if you can be an actor in something and not get those ongoing royalties forever. Not to that level. Stunties get big royalties.
Is this like a part of their like their
part of their union and the contract?
Yeah.
And
so their salaries wouldn't be as high obviously as an actor.
No, but
the royalties.
But the royalties.
If it becomes good, if it's successful, then.
So Connor got offered these.
Yeah, and Connor was all lined up to do Fury Road with these guys. all of these other stunties have bought houses off Fury Road. Like it was that big a job.
That's successful. Yeah.
But Connor sacrificed it to do Soulmates, like to stay with us and
That
do
worked
Soulmates.
out.
Yeah. Did he buy a house from Soulmates royalties?
No. We made $8.50 on Soulmates.
He paid rent for that week.
Yeah. Soulmates owes us money.
Yeah. But we Soulmates for us was about getting a foot in the door, solidly.
Yes.
Which
I mean,
did work.
this is the other thing about this choice is I don't think, I think people, when they look at what you're pursuing for work, people can assume you want to be famous or you want to do this or that, or that you're egotistical or whatever when they look at people who are actors, or creatives. But they don't actually understand it's not a glamorous thing. Like it's not you're not doing this to make fucking money. Like I was making more money when I was selling advertising for 3 years than I'm making doing what I do now.
Yeah.
But this is the most fun job I could possibly have.
Better for your mental health.
Great for your mental health. Satisfying.
And you still, you still got 2
on.
kids, a wife. You're paying your rent.
Yeah.
Life's moving.
Yeah.
It's good.
And that's all. Like it's all fine.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Sick
it's
brother-in-law. You're killing it.
I fucking scored the best brother-in-law ever. Yeah.
So there's another brother. Is there another?
Yeah.
Another
So this has all been about. Yeah, there's another one.
That's another one.
Yeah.
He's sick, Brian.
Brian
Vuka.
You pieces of shit.
We'll get you.
Well, my personal favourite that I was speaking to Vuk Dutch about months ago, it was lockdown, and I was watching Netflix. I'm like, fuck, there's nothing to watch. And I'm like, what the fuck's this Down Under? I was like, what's this fucking show? So I start watching it, and I'm like, I ring Dutch. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Christian's in this, but he's like some fucking redneck who's like ripped. He looked jacked up, and I actually had to go on Google and look at the cast to be like, is that him, or am I just being like racist? Like it's like another white guy with a shaved head, and I'm like, it's Christian. Like, but I looked at it, and I was like, what was it, Doof?
Doof
was the character.
Doof. Yeah.
Fuck. It was actually a good movie.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Like it showed both
Abe's
sides.
a wonderful filmmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually showed both sides of the.
What's it called?
Down Under.
Down Under.
What's it on? I want to watch it.
Netflix.
I actually haven't seen
it. Is it
this
Netflix or Stan?
I don't know.
I think it's
probably
Netflix.
been on both at different times. But it's
Now
great.
it's
It's
on
great.
Netflix.
Yeah, it shows both sides of like it's basically the story is like a carload of skips and a carload of dudes from Bankstown.
Yeah. Wogs.
And they
boys.
collide on the day of the Cronulla riots kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it
sounds
shows
good.
like the good people on both sides.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like the
Like it's
wholesome,
even, yeah.
the wholesome stoner guy who was
Yeah.
there
What
with his
What a
disabled.
time that was, eh? Those
And then
Cronulla
you know
riots.
the other guy who just didn't want to be involved in it, trying to get his brother out. So it was cool that it showed. You know, it's not really about race; it's about dickheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Christian grew up in Cronulla. He's a Cronulla local.
Yeah.
What was? Were you there when the riots were happening?
I'd been in. That was around when I'd
he was
been in
doof.
South
He
Africa.
It's like, yeah, nah, I
So
wasn't.
they go, fuck it, let's get him.
The weird thing is, right? So I was there in Cronulla that day, and the weird thing is the kind of protest, the the initial get together of people wanting to have safety on the beach or whatever. I can't remember what the original thing was, but people started gathering, and so we went down to the wall, which is like the main part of Cronulla, kind of just to see what was going on. Like, kind of got down there to see what was going on. And when we got down there, it just started like everything kind of, people were just coming from everywhere, and then everyone's just beers just kind of appeared, and people were bringing cases of beer down, and then we were kind of like just started seeing people. And so, someone would give you a beer, and then next thing you know, you're kind of like,
Day?
it felt like a kind of Australia Day party or something.
Yeah.
But like for the people who were down, I had no idea what was going on. Like we were kind of down at the wall drinking beers in a front yard, kind of just talking to people that we knew. But meanwhile, like over there, there's people like chasing an Indian dude, into a car, and but we didn't
so
know
scary,
it was happening. And then those people getting beaten up on the trains, we didn't know that was happening. And then people it was just at a certain point of the evening when all of a sudden like the drunkenness of it all clicked into like Gotham City mode.
Yeah.
When we suddenly realized like, oh, this isn't good. This is like, oh my God, there's riot police coming. This is something else than we thought it was. Yeah. And then we went home to like, I just remember sitting at home in Cronulla watching the news and just seeing they were tracking the like carloads of people coming out from.
Could you hear it all happening? Because there was like fires and cars getting flipped and stuff from where you were. Could you like?
I didn't like. We didn't see any of that chaos.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I was there all night either. It was kind of into the afternoon. At a certain point, I just went home. But it took a while to realise that this was like a kind of rioty situation. It just felt for a while like you're saying, like a weird
shindig,
Australia Day, like a big shindig or something. And it wasn't until people started like throwing bottles at cops and then watching the news, realising like, oh my God, there were like people bashing up people and, you know.
No way.
Pretty wild.
For sure.
Yeah, so
when was that? When did you film that movie?
So the filmmaker of that was Abe Forsyth, who's a good friend of mine, and he had been writing that for a while. I reckon he made that in about 2014, 15, 16.
Oh wow! Okay, so it only got released because it only came on Netflix. I think last year or so.
Yeah, it came out at the movies and had another release. So it's just finding a second life now, I think, on the SVODs.
Yes.
They should do it.
Did you do a training regimen then? Because you looked quite.
I was just
massive.
going to the gym a lot then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I looked like
I want to see a Doof spin-off show. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I just want to see him play this guy.
I just remember the scene where you're in the car with the meth head.
Yeah.
The guy's like hitting the pipe, and you're in the back seat, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, you got to watch it. I can't explain it.
I actually rewatched Over and Out, the show you did.
That's great.
Yeah. The show you did with Adele, my sister, and the kids. That's so good.
That's the snot baby scene. That's amazing.
I don't know if you talk about it, but is there a season 2? Are you guys like working on?
We've been developing that as a half-hour show. So we kind of we did that as a web series to kind of prove the format a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we've been like developing that short series. We submitted into the Cannes series competition in Cannes, where they do Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And we won the best short series from around the world.
Yeah, that was epic.
Which was cool.
That was so weird. I was like, oh, this going over there to just like pick up an award. And then next minute I see like a video and you're in like a full stadium of people.
Yeah, it was wild.
Accepting like a fuck off like
So
award.
you won it's a short web series in Cannes.
Yeah, and they gave us the award at the big festival.
That's everyone. That's internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clout.
That's like
It was clout. It was a proper award. And then so when we won that award, we got some interest in being able to develop it as a longer show, and so we've been writing it out as like a half hour. So we kind of we're sitting now on
you're
scripts.
doing one. Oh, you got multiple half hours.
10 episodes. 10 half hours.
At half hours. That's dope. Have you got any funding for that yet?
We've had development funding. We've got some studio interest for it, and we're kind of like developing these shows takes a long time, so we're kind of like putting all those funding pieces together.
I imagine Connor's going to get like Fury Road 2, but like, yes, I got it. And you're going to be like, oh,
sorry, bro,
we got Over and Out.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'll give you royalties this time.
Yeah.
He actually quit stunts because he only quit stunts a year or two ago because I think he realised that at a certain point he's going to bang his head too hard.
Yeah, it's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah.
The amount of times you've heard something go wrong in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah, we don't even have to be a stunt man. That poor girl, that Alec Baldwin.
Well, even that, that's even that Bliss and Esso. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So I used to live on the Gold Coast. He was known by like a few of the boys in the community.
No way. Really?
Like real good family man.
Forgot about that. Everything. That's tragic. Yeah.
He was the New Zealand bloke.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor was on set for Shang-Chi, so he was like, you know that Marvel movie Shang-Chi. So he was like standing there on set. You know, there's this big scene where they're kind of like all these ninjas are fighting on the scaffolding outside.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty crazy scene.
Crazy scene, like hectic stunts.
Yep.
And he was standing there getting ready to do that stunt. So you're like, like that series of stunts. So it's all just like jumping through scaffolding, grabbing hold of things, flipping, doing little turns, kicks, throw. And he was just looking at it and he's like, I think I quit. I think he just went up to the stunty and said, "Sorry, man. I don't think I'm going to do stunts anymore."
Yeah, I remember Connor was doing multiple backflips and
as you do,
in front of Christian's kids, and I was like, "Fuck." That's like way more clout than me, man. Like, how am I going to beat that? I was just like...
Dutch can't even fix the Lego.
Connor does all these like flips and he's like...
This guy's
Dan
freaking out, sweating on the Lego.
Yo.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Yo.
What's up?
So what's your sort of comedy inspirations? Is there someone... comedian or comedy style that you look up to or watch that you go
beside myself,
like more overseas or maybe locally? I don't know.
My favorite comedy ever is South Park.
I guess
So
that's
like
your
that
sort
was
of-
my.
that's your-
I love the way that they do highbrow, lowbrow. Like I love that they can say something really sharp about society, but at the same time, it can just be really like. They're saying really sharp satirical stuff, but it's dressed in cum jokes, fart jokes, and
Yes.
naughty
They're
shit.
they're incredibly talented.
They're
those
so
guys.
talented.
So smart.
Yeah.
Just always deliver on the ball.
Are you a fan of
Yeah.
Curb? Curb Your
Yeah, I
Enthusiasm?
love Curb. Curb's great. Yeah.
That's good. That sort of improv style. That's very.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that half of that show is just most of it's just him and the characters improv,
Yeah. Right.
which was interesting reading up on. Larry David, creator of Seinfeld. For
Yeah.
those that don't know.
I mean, Seinfeld's still like Seinfeld is.
Don't act like
one
you
of
know.
the
You didn't even
all-time
know the
best
pony
ones.
thing from Seinfeld.
What?
You
Okay,
acting
so what's
like
this
this.
pony thing?
He's at the dinner table and they're talking about a pony, and he's like, and Jerry goes, "Oh, anyone who had a pony is just so fortunate or something." I don't know. He says some
It's
shit.
ringing a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, those people have ponies, like whatever." And then the old lady's like, "I had a pony." Everyone fucking knows this one, bro. Jesus. And then he's like, "I didn't mean it," and she's like, "That pony saved my life." I don't know. Fuck it.
The Simpsons too. Love the Simpsons.
Simpsons.
What about what's happening in Bondi Hipsters? Are they coming back? Are they in and out? What's
I
going
don't
on with
know.
those guys?
We kind of just we do a bit of Bondi Hipsters every now and then, and you know, it's one of those things where if we feel like there's something to say with the characters or there's something fun to do with the characters, then we dig them out and we do something.
I reckon one day when you like say goodbye to them, it has to be like the most epic. Like they both have to die.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
feel
such-
like you want to send them out in like they go to the bank to finally get a loan for a real job or something.
Yeah.
But there's a robbery at the bank and one of them gets shot in the head and the other one has to like I don't know.
Yeah.
You just
Well,
want
they
Or
to
like
both
a
die
heist movie, something fully
Yeah.
random. Like
No, they
playing
both
a
just
heist.
die from like a peanut allergy or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
something
double
very
peanut
Bondi.
death.
Or like the
Yeah.
soy milk.
I
The
said
soy milk's
pumpkin
old.
spice, not peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom,
I told you not to buy natural essences. I get anaphylactic shock.
Actually, yeah.
It's just from shampoo. You just bought the wrong
Yeah,
shampoo.
shampoo, yeah.
This is
See.
the worst death scene ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Just
so Bondi.
literally anaphylactic.
Some non-organic shampoo. That's the way you go out.
Yeah.
He's like trying to save him with like a line of coke. Have a line, Dom.
Just have a line. Bounce back.
One last line. That's what you should call it.
One last
Dominating
line.
one last
One
line.
last line.
Yeah.
One line to rule them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was fun to make though. That
Yeah.
was Bondi Hipsters is always lots of fun.
that was also one of the like kind of when YouTube was. There
Early.
wasn't many like now you go on YouTube like everyone's doing these sort of things, but like
Yeah.
you're one of the very few at the time.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
Early days. And then we were early days onto like Facebook video too, which was, you know, there was a time when Facebook first launched video where you'd upload a video and it would just got bazillions of hits. Like,
Yeah.
because Facebook wanted to block YouTube out of its, you know, page world. So it was just like raising any video content uploaded to Facebook. It was raising it so high up their algorithm and making it basically visible to every single person who likes your page and friends of friends who like your page. And
Now they're cucks
That's
though. They
before
make you pay.
Instagram.
They make you
now
pay.
they make
for
you
it.
pay. Yeah.
Oh, to get exposure.
Yeah, for ads and stuff.
Yeah.
TikTok's the TikTok. If you want to like put your stuff out, just TikTok it.
You got to pay
TikTok
for
it,
that
yeah.
or not?
No,
No, just
No.
algorithms.
Yeah, they're just like let's make everyone famous,
Yeah, for
and
reasons.
and that's why everyone's gonna go on it because you get famous in a
You
day.
can get, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, I just reckon they get everyone hooked on, like, everyone gets what it feels like to go viral.
yeah.
And then they get hooked, so they just keep uploading and uploading and uploading, chasing that
Genius.
high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How's
a
that
comfy
feel?
couch.
Yeah.
It's so
Good?
comfy, yeah.
It's a good couch, eh?
Really
I
good
got
couch.
it for, I think it was like $150, and then I went on Airtasker, and the dude went and picked it up, dropped it like off up the stairs up here for like $50. It was like a $200 thing.
Did you help him up?
Yeah, man.
No, you didn't.
Nah, I didn't.
It's extortionate.
That's pretty good. Only 6 people died on it. The
Yeah.
bloodstains came off.
Whose Nirvana shirt is that?
Mine. You like it?
I used to use a Nirvana shirt as a cum rag when I was a teenager.
That's what that one is.
I've
under
actually
my
got
bed.
a cum rag, and it's got cum rag on it.
It says cum rag.
Yeah, my friend got it.
In
for some-
cum?
No, in white. Yeah. But the whole thing was
He's just been working on
Yeah,
trying to
just-
spell
yeah.
that for since he was 14.
6 months, boys. I remember.
Can you bring it? We'll have that as our next guest.
Next, we'll hang it up there. Yeah. So my friend went to the States.
Hello, I'm the cum rag. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. I shouldn't be alive. What's it like being a cum rag?
It's the worst thing ever. I have the souls of 1 million dead people.
You reckon it'd be good for you? Like if you made a little soup out of it? Like would it be stem cells? Would it be stem cells?
This is the second time we've
So the whole bad thing about the cum rag towel is it's black.
Oh yeah, that's
You know what I mean? I'm like, who
Rookie.
makes a cum rag towel that's black? That's
Yeah.
very... But then you can see your work.
That was a Bondi Hipsters thing I always wanted to do, is that they make kombucha. That's
You did do that, didn't you?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did it as
you
a
did.
gag. Yeah, we ended up doing it as a gag.
That was recently, I think I saw.
Yeah, I
When
watched
did I
that.
see that?
Oh no, that was on 2020.
It was in the 2021
Yeah.
for Stan. But I wanted to do this whole episode where they basically like go through the process of like actually jizzing in jars and then leaving that in the water to grow and ferment, like the way that kombucha ferments, and then sell it as like a kind of high testosterone, high masculine kind of yield drink. But then in the episode I did, they would have been left over with like heaps of this shit. No one buys it, obviously, because it's disgusting. And so they're left over with heaps of it and they don't know what to do with it. And so then they end up like making a moisturizing cream out of it. And so like all the girls at Bondi are like buying their, not knowing it's their jizz and moisturizer and like
good
using it on their
idea.
faces.
It's not a bad real business idea.
But then something, the end, it was going to end with like, I just had this image of like Adrian in a red biplane, like the Red Baron, like, you know, like in a plane, spraying cum trails all over
Crop
Bondi,
dusting.
just crop dusting Bondi.
You won't be.
I'm never wearing that Nirvana shirt again.
Yeah, exactly.
Pass it here. Can you grab it?
Yeah.
Nirvana
My
shirt's
one
a
was
cum
even
rag.
more. My one was.
Was your one black as well?
Yeah, and it had my one had that sad picture of Kurt Cobain, like
Oh,
with his
yeah.
date of birth and
Yes.
date of
You're not
death.
jizzing on Kurt Cobain's
The
face.
death
I didn't look.
one.
It was never an active choice. What happened
It was
was
just there.
I was
Closest
14 and I jerked off and I just reached over and grabbed whatever was next to my
That's
bed.
right.
But
That's how
once
you
I,
nominate.
Don't
your-
touch this.
that's
one.
how it finds you.
That's
the rag
yeah,
finds
the
you.
rag finds you. Unless
Yeah.
No, when did you
And you know
update
what?
the
You know
towel? Where
the
are
worst thing
towels?
is though. You know what the worst thing is. So I had this old crusty Nirvana shirt under my bed that would have been there from the age of like 13, 14 through to about 16, right?
it's just solid.
It's like cracky, right? It's disgusting. Boys are gross. And then I come home from school one day
Oh, and
and it's
gone.
folded and washed and presented at the foot of my bed. Like it's not with the rest of the laundry. It's individually separate, folded on the edge of my bed, right? And so I get home and I'm like, shit. Now I know Mum knows. Mum knows. I know she knows. There's this whole like it's been presented back to me in a way of like I know what
I
you've been
know
up
what
to.
happened. I know
And
what
so-
you did.
You put it on.
No.
No.
So
I would have ran out of the house.
I would've
and never
rocked
I'm
it.
returned.
dying.
I would've
I'm
been
like,
like, "Mum,
I'm
thanks."
dead. I'm like
Yeah.
literally dead inside, and I'm like, I can't face my mum ever again. Like I
You
don't
should have
wanna
power
see her.
moved her. You should have just put it on and went. Just walked out of the kitchen and just went, "Thanks, Mum.
I just looked at her. Just,
Thanks for cleaning my shirt."
just a blinkless
And then
stare.
you slowly just backwards.
And just like sit down at the dinner table, just stare at her, and just like cut your steak and just eat
yeah,
it.
and just
Just
drop
like
it.
I
drop
feel
a
like
little
Joffrey would do that.
drop a little bit of tomato sauce on it and just be like,
Don't even care.
"Whoops, mother."
Yeah.
If I ever see you in a
That's a
Nirvana
full power
shirt,
game.
if anyone sees you in a Nirvana shirt,
They'll know.
yeah.
I feel like I need one to sperm on.
Now I kind of have to do it.
Now you have to demolish that shirt.
Yeah, I can't just
Don't
not
wreck a
do
good
it.
shirt. I wish I'd picked another shirt. To be
You know what a
honest.
good business
Yeah,
idea is that
hindsight.
I realized that there's a need for this in the market?
Yeah.
Horse cock washing.
You were telling me about this.
Yeah.
Horses need someone to go and wash their dick.
Yeah, so because they're not a dog and a cat can lick it,
Yeah.
but a horse apparently bugs. It's like it goes inside as well. There's a lot of shit happens.
Yeah.
But it takes like 2 minutes. You just soap it up, and they like it because they're getting a little. You know, they're
Oh
getting a
yeah,
little
it's like a little
massage.
rub and tug.
$50 a horse. You do 6 in an hour.
Heavy though. That's a heavy job.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's heavier. Like
I'd
imagine
rather-
being an aged care nurse.
rather
There are
you know,
fucking easier ways to get $350 a day, I reckon.
I don't think so. There's people at aged care homes cleaning like old people's ass. And they're not getting
But where are you
$350 a
gonna-
day.
where the hell are these
Nurses
horses?
aren't getting $350 a day.
What? How are you going to find? Where are these 6 horses anyway? A day?
I mean, do you know how many cocks a nurse has to wash?
Do you know like?
Do you know how many cocks a nurse has to wash to get 350?
Do you know that like horses aren't like they don't live in apartments and they're all in apartments next to each
Yeah,
other
you
and
just go,
shit?
"Where's the horses
Like
at?"
farms are huge, bro.
Yeah, but you
like
just go
how you
down
gonna
to
get
Campbelltown.
7 farms?
Why are
in
their
a-
dicks need to
Every-
be washed that bad? Like what?
Because they're fucking
Are they
animals,
just,
man.
They're hanging on the dirt, I guess.
Nah, it's all
Just
bugs
gathering.
and stuff get in it.
And but how do you? Where did you find out they needed their dicks washed?
This chick I know gets a person to come to do it. I think they're
That's-
called
yeah.
like shelters or shealth. There's a word for it, and she was saying there's like
Prostitutes.
we need people
Yeah.
to wash $50 a
Let
month.
us know how it goes.
Well,
Yeah.
each to their own. It's money. Like I would rather wash a horse's cock for $50 than a human's.
Yeah, 100%.
So
No one
then-
be washing no one's
But you're saying like why are we? This is insane. Why are we pretending you need to wash anyone's dick?
It's a
It's
business.
not like you have to wash
It's
it.
a
Yeah, no
business
one's-
idea. No
You're
one's saying
saying
you have
I would
to.
prefer your starting point is like, oh gosh, I'd hate to wash human dicks, so I may as well.
Yeah,
wash
but if you had to wash a dick for $50,
horse ones.
if you had to wash a dick, hypothetically,
Also, I can pick the dick.
yeah, if you can pick
Well,
the,
then I want to wash a lion's dick.
I wouldn't. It'll attack me.
No, well, if the lion was just chilling.
It's not going to just
It's
chill
on
while you.
Chillionaires, bro. It would be just good.
Lion will assert dominance and eat you for touching its cock.
Not if you're washing his dick. He'd be like, "Thank you."
You got to like
I'm not gonna
court.
eat
You got to court the lion.
There's a
Don't
lot-
just
we talk-
go in there and grab a lion's
we talk
cock.
a lot
You gotta
about
wine
dicks
it,
on this
dine
show.
it. We've talked about dicks for about 20 seconds.
No, we started it. Now we're just
Started with anuses, and now we're talking.
Yeah, the anus. Can we go back to the anus?
back to fungus.
Fungus. Yeah.
All right, so these two aren't.
Oh,
all
did
right,
you-
You
didn't-
guys won't join my cock washing billion.
I just
a couple of years, you'll see me on the news, and you'll be like, "This guy made millions."
Like washing.
And they're like, "What'd you do?" I'll be like, "Well, I washed a few cocks."
find a way.
All
to-
you haters.
Can you actually go do one though? I actually want to know what it's like.
I don't
I'll
want to
go-
do it. I didn't say let's go do it. I said start the business.
Right.
We don't have to physically do it. We
I
just
mean,
manage the washing.
Nah, man, we've come this far. I kind of want to now. Let's
Well,
get
the
over
first
and
few
done with.
ones, first few goes, we got to get our hands.
What if
dirty.
we're like, fuck, this is sick?
It will be sick. You know what I mean? I don't understand why you guys aren't visualizing this. Wake up, drive to a farm, see animals. The animals G to see you.
Yeah,
You're washing its cock. You've done something good with your day. You go home and you
you
fulfilled.
feel good,
You're
or you
fulfilled.
feel violated.
No, you don't
as
feel
the horse
violated.
Would. The horse would.
It's consensual. It's all consensual.
Yeah,
It's just washing.
It's just washing. It's necessity.
Okay. Actually, yeah.
It's just interesting that there's that much money in it, and with people, there's not that much money. No one's paying, $50 to wash my cock.
I mean, it does make me think. It does make me think about. I often think about that thing of how weird society's got, where it's like people who take care of our aged and who bring
And our
babies
youth,
into the
yeah.
world, and like nurses and
teachers, even
teachers. Like these people make hardly any money.
exactly. That's the whole.
But our society values people's whose job it is to find loopholes within the law to evade tax or to help get criminals off from being prosecuted.
and get millions.
And they get bajillions
Mm.
from just doing shit things in society, and we don't value those who do the good things.
It's facts. That's
Yeah, we
priorities.
value the horse cock
Priorities.
watchers.
Well, no, that's
Oh.
what I mean. That's the whole point of it. That
Yeah. Are you hungover?
I am a bit
Yeah, I
hungover.
feel a bit dusty.
I'm a bit
I had
tired.
a couple. We had a couple.
Yeah.
Carried on a bit last night.
had
some
a
beers.
shisha, had a argile.
Yeah, that was dope. Have you had that?
Shisha,
sheesh.
the big puff
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Hubbly
cool.
bubbly.
Where'd you do that?
At my place.
He's bringing
lovely.
he's bringing ride to the east.
Bringing west to the east.
Yeah, nice.
You see coals all down Bondi soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
On the ground, like Bryden. I want to make Bondi Bryden.
Yeah.
Minus the jet skis.
Bondi La Sands.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's your next show, I bet.
Yeah.
Bondi La Sands.
Yeah.
Doof.
Yeah.
That's the Doof
Yeah,
spin-off show.
let me go on it as Mahmoud. Mahmoud from the hood.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit.
Well, how long are
Just
we
a bit
going?
tired.
Yeah,
wrap
man,
it?
look-
We've been a while.
Yeah.
Is everything
What's,
still
do you want- Is there
recording?
anything? What do you got? What do you got? Yeah, I don't even know if it's on.
Did we
what's,
press record?
Yeah.
Funny.
What's next, bro?
What's
happening?
out there?
What's going on
Um,
next? Where you going?
So my brother and I have been writing a movie that we're hoping to have commissioned by kind of July. It's a monster movie.
Can
in
this
Australia.
is serious. Can I please be in it? Can you cast me somehow where I don't die maybe this time?
Maybe one more line.
One more line at least.
Maybe.
I'll die.
Can we make him nude?
I'll die.
I
Actually.
reckon we could maybe find you a little thing in that.
Or it'd be funny if I'm the guy. I just always die.
Yeah, let's just put you in everything. You
Let's make him the Rob Schneider of your movies.
Yeah.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that was such.
You're
a
like, that's that guy again.
Yeah, there's that guy.
That sounds cool. Monster movie. That
Yeah,
sounds fun, man.
work
So is it
on
like
that.
a funny horror or horror? Like
It's gonna be like it'll be kind of Spielbergian classic kind of monster movie,
okay.
but with some funny moments.
Yeah,
I reckon. But so working on that. Been working on a couple of different film scripts. Where we've got a show in development with this kind of big Aussie director based down in Melbourne. That we're working on, but kind of nothing coming out immediately soon. Just lots of stuff in the development pipeline. It's going well.
Awesome,
Everything's going
man.
good.
Yeah,
That's
sick.
mad.
That's exciting.
Nothing to promote though.
Yeah, that's cool. Just
Just
can
here
we
hanging with my brother-in-law really, and Azza.
Azza.
Yeah,
Azza.
you fucked up.
Azza. So if anyone wants to watch your shit, where can they watch it?
UG's Red Shoe.
Yeah,
That's early days.
Yeah.
Doof Gone Wild. Doof and Debbie.
yeah.
Part 2.
What's your channel called?
We've got a YouTube channel called Van Vurren Brothers. You can look that up.
Sick.
Plenty of stuff on there.
Is that Dutch?
Yeah.
Is that Dutch background?
Yeah, Afrikaans. Yeah, Dutch
Oh,
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
For cons.
Home
Yeah.
of the TB.
Christian van Vieren is how you put it in.
Home of the
pronounce it
TB.
in Afrikaans. Yeah,
With the TV.
yeah,
So there was some connection. Okay.
yeah.
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 Sick. Oh man. Well,
Wow.
you're actually
Wow.
our first guest that we've
Sick.
interviewed.
Thanks for having me. Sorry
Nah,
for being
thank
all
you.
lazy and lying around.
No, that's
Nah,
all
man.
right.
Thanks
You
for
brought
sharing
it
your
up.
story. That was really cool.
You
I
guys
think-
just have a relaxing energy.
That's
Yeah.
it,
Well,
mate.
the
It was-
Chillionaires. I don't know if you read the sign that
Yeah,
we got.
I
I
made.
did.
We're
Yeah,
quite
you
chill.
said it a few
Yeah.
times.
I have.
Chill.
He doesn't like them. No, he does.
No, I do. It grew on me. We went through this first podcast.
Yeah.
Because when he sent it to me via text, I read it. He's like, it's like millionaires, you know, like Millie. And I'm like, Chillionaires. And he's like, why are you saying it that way? And I'm like, you wrote it. You're telling me like Millie. So I went like Chili. And then I went Chillionaires.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this like every podcast.
Yeah.
I wanted to go with Spinach Wasp. Spinach Wasp, Buletsky.
What was your name you were going for?
What was it?
Azzy?
I had a few. Fountainaires.
Bouncing is still don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Wait, do you think-
Buletsky.
Do you think,
Buletsky. I quite like Buletsky. I don't know why.
I don't know why. It's Buletsky.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we could get Dominadrian on the show one day?
Maybe.
See what they're doing?
Yeah,
If
maybe. I could give him a call.
Yeah, give him a call.
What about Doof?
Oh,
We got
Oh,
Doof
yeah.
on?
Oh,
You gotta
yeah.
get
Just
him
give
on.
me 6 months in the gym.
No, we'll say Doof found ice.
Yeah.
Doof
yeah.
found meth.
Yeah. Doof had kids.
Yeah, Doof had to face
spin
reality.
That'll age ya.
Nah, man, thanks so much for coming
Thanks
on,
for
bro.
having me,
You're a
boys.
legend.
Christian.
Fun
Cheers.
chat. You.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching Chillionaires. Thanks, Christian Van Vuren, for coming on. Make sure you like, subscribe, watch, listen, view, all the things. We love ya. Peace.